Welcome back, everyone, to Crew's Garden. I decided to do a second video for today. I was talking about how cold it was this morning. It was around negative 20, negative 22, and it's supposed to drop down to like negative 24, 28. I had not finished the insulation in the chicken coop. It just takes the edge off for the chickens. All my chickens are cold hardy, except for maybe one, because when we picked her up, they didn't know what kind of bird she was when she was a chick. She just doesn't have certain traits that stand out that were easy to identify. And she's the skinniest bird out of all of them. So just to help them out, I picked up this kind of bubble wrap that has Mylar on both sides, kind of like a thermal blanket on both sides of the bubble wrap. So you got the little cells in the bubble wrap that, retain the heat, and then the Mylar that will reflect the heat back at the chickens when they're up against it. I really debated about to put in a heat source, like a radiant heat or a heat lamp. Totally different types of information on the web. So I decided to talk to people in my local community that also have backyard chickens and the farmers. 50-50. Some people say absolutely don't do it, and other people say you absolutely should. You just got to take precautions like anything else and not be lazy to the point where it can get dusty if it's a lamp and cause a fire. So I highly recommend that you take a rag every morning and just dust it off, and you should be fine. I only want to have the lamp in for probably 3 to 4 days because I'm hoping temperatures will go back to normal after that. I'm sitting here fighting with Wednesday on the top roost. She's very curious, and I kept on having the chickens running around my legs and pecking at my boots. It's been interesting owning chickens. I will say that. Oh, there's Pepper. Yeah, she was really broody today. For those of you that don't know what that means, she just didn't want to leave her eggs, thinking that they're actually fertilized when they're not. So every time I kept taking her down, she'd pop out to see what I'm doing, and then I'd take her down, and then she'd hop back in and go on top of her egg and everyone else's. So this insulation, I found the best way to put it up was just a staple gun. You use a manual one. I was able to borrow an electric one, so it made it a lot faster. The staples, you just got to be careful what material you're kind of punching them into. I tried to stick to the 2x4s in the coop and not go through the walls, but I think I might have missed a few that went through, and that's okay. It's not going to bother anything. Sorry for the poor film work, but it's not the biggest area. Oh, yep, I forgot about that. So that was Pepper jumping up on the coop. I think this lasts for about a minute, maybe a minute, 10 seconds, before I realized she'd knocked over the tripod for the camera. So she went back in her nesting box, and I'm just working away, being completely oblivious to what is going on. And yeah, I should have maybe thought of this through a little bit better and found a different location, not near the nesting box. But I figured she was broody. She's not going to come out, and it was just a better angle than putting the little tripod on the roost. And I know that I've got my back turned a little bit in most of the scenes, and it's not the greatest lighting, but you do what you can when you're starting out with a YouTube channel and social media. It's not the easiest task. I don't know how many of you have ever attempted it, but it's a learning curve, that is for sure. So again, I just want to get it all insulated up. I did the roof, the walls. I did not go around the nesting boxes because my whole goal was for when they're sleeping at night, when the temperature really drops, to keep that the warmest area. I just thought it was a waste of resources to go around the nesting boxes that are on the opposite side of the coop. The coop's about, 4.5 by 9 feet, maybe 8 feet, give or take a foot. And it's been a lot of fun working on this coop. I apologize for just looking at some straw there again, but pretty sure I clue in sooner or later. Yeah, here we go. So now I'm realizing I have no idea how long the camera's been looking at the straw, and I'm just going to keep going. So, but again, the Coop's been fun. It's been a fun build. If you've seen the Instagram, you've seen some of the other videos on YouTube and posts that I've made on Facebook. See, there's the culprit. Right there. That was Pepper. So, she's really friendly. But yeah, the chicken coop was built out of 2 shipping containers and old fence boards. Went to Habitat for Humanity and was able to pick up a window for like $20. And it's just been fun. I just kind of like pieced it together, you know, looked up some basic building codes for, you know, weight for snow and stuff like that for the roof, the slanted roof. And yeah, I think it was very budget friendly, because if you go to certain farm supply stores or you go on Amazon, you look for a coop, you're spending like $500 to $1,000 for basically a cardboard box that says can fit 5 to 6 chickens, and I don't even think one chicken would be comfortable in there, not even enough to spread their wings. You go on Amazon and check it out, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm absolutely freezing out here. I tried wearing gloves, and yeah, the dexterity wasn't there. So I'm trying to get this done as quick as I can. I know I'm doing a real rough job, but it's just gotta work. I'm thinking that maybe I'll keep it up during the summer just so I don't have to do it all over again during the winter, because if it's keeping the heat in during the winter, then I'm pretty sure it should be okay during the summer if I just keep like the vents open, and maybe I'll put another window in that actually has a screen, and then put some, I don't know, wire fencing over it so it keeps the predators like raccoons out. We basically have raccoons and possums around here and skunks. You hear coyotes in the distance, but I've never seen a fox in the area, and I'll take that because they can all dig, right? Like even the chicken run outside, it's an old dog run that I was able to obtain for free. Somebody just wanted to get rid of it, and I had a buddy that had a truck that was able to pick it up, and it's 10 by 10 by 10. It just kind of worked out really well. So I think I'm just kind of figuring out how to cut this to go behind the bottom perch. And I know the screen's really dark, but again, the lighting wasn't that fantastic. Yeah, I'm just kind of stapling that up real quick, getting the job done. So I don't know how many of you have chickens. I think like 1 or 2 people on maybe my personal Facebook have chickens. I know a lot of people were talking to me about gardening during the summer and the fall. I'm just focusing on the chickens right now. I will be doing some videos on the greenhouse coming up, because I want to talk a little bit more about the spring garden planning and getting your seedlings going. So there will be a live chat tonight on my Facebook. I will be trying to get everything sorted out for YouTube live chat, but currently it's not working on my computer. So for those of you that aren't on my Facebook, I'll be working on the Facebook group page, and then I can do live stream that way as well, and probably just duplicate it, do a second time on YouTube. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. It's just a journey, right? Like that's just like in the description of the YouTube channel. It's just about having fun and, you know, going on this journey of gardening and backyard chickens and all the fun stuff that not a lot of people do anymore. I'm still struggling with this piece in the back corner, and then I gotta work on the door. The disco ball, it's kind of interesting. Get those at the dollar store. I think they're $4.50 at Dollarama. Chickens love that stuff. You get some acrylic mirrors for them to look at because they're all divas. They're very, very conceited, actually. Like, you give one chicken too much attention, the other ones get upset. Now I'm just kind of figuring out the bottom here. Again, I didn't cover the window. They still want to look outside. It's good for their health to, know what's going on outside, what the weather's like. They don't get a whole lot of sun in this part of the backyard, and that's because I put them right underneath an oak tree. I wanted them to have some shade in the summer because for about 3 to 4 hours during the summer, there's no tree cover in my backyard. I got big trees like oaks and maples all around the property in the neighbors' yards. Makes it very difficult for the vegetable gardens, but we'll do an episode on that about how I worked around it. That's all about placement. So when I'm trying to insulate this coop, there's a whole bunch of options out there. I don't know if I mentioned already in the video, but you can use regular household insulation as long as it's covered, because chickens will eat it. With this stuff, they kind of see the reflection, they peck at it, but they don't try to eat it. So I thought that was great, and it's waterproof. Right? I don't have to worry about it getting soggy. I don't have to worry about them tipping over their water, or if the roof leaks, it going moldy or anything like that. So this is a really good option. I will probably post a link on an Instagram post, or just I'll probably do it on an Instagram post and just add the link to where it is on Amazon. Coops are very easy to assemble if you can just find some scrap material. Ask people if they got spare wood kicking around or recycled wood. I'm taking a long time. Sometimes you don't realize how long you're taking when you're doing stuff. But then again, I'm like 6'4", and the roof only goes about, 4.5 to 5 feet. So I'm like kneeling down through this whole thing. It's not the greatest. I threw a bale of hay in there this morning, or straw, sorry, as mentioned. Oh, there's Pepper again. So yeah, I threw the straw in there. So if you're thinking I'm like crawling around in chicken poop, I'm not. So, what's she hiding in there? She had a few eggs. It's funny because she lays blue eggs, but she's like protecting and going broody on a brown egg. I think they like the straw I threw in there. The first time I put straw in their nesting boxes, they dug it all out and they just threw it all over the place. And I think with the colder weather, they appreciate it. The great thing about straw in the winter, it's a good insulator. It reflects the heat back to the animal, to the chicken. It's good for cats, outdoor cats too. If you have an outdoor shelter for cats, don't use blankets, use straw. It's much better. So thinking about the point where I'm just going to work on the door, and then I'm going to put the light up. Now for the straw and everything, I just throw the whole bale in there and let them sort it out. I just took some and put it in the nesting boxes, but they like to scratch it out and just mess it all up in their chicken coop, and that just gets their body temperatures up. Now, I am not a professional chicken keeper. I just wing it and do a lot of reading. When I was younger, we had chickens on the farm, and my granddad just literally just tossed in huge bales of straw and kind of made the odds be ever in your favor for the chickens, who's going to survive, who's not. This is kind of how old school farming was. You didn't put lights and heat sources in there. You got to think back in the old days, like even the dark ages, they didn't have electricity, and they sure as heck weren't going to put a fire or anything like that, and to try to keep chickens warm just wasn't a thing. And the heritage chickens that are like the old school chickens, they're very cold hardy. There's a lot of interesting chickens in the States that I don't even think you can get in Canada. Maybe we'll do an episode on going through different types of chickens. And I actually found out about a native species of chicken that's, I believe, in Africa. And the thing looks insane. It's like all pastel colors and it looks almost like a peacock, but it's a chicken. Yeah, I'm just kind of tacking this up real quick. It works, It's like, I think it was, I got 2 rolls. I got 3 rolls. So it was a little pricey. It was a little pricey for the installation, but you know what? You spend the time and money raising these birds. You kind of get that little bond with them. They all have personalities, just like dogs, cats, and any other critter. You want to take care of them, you know. I'm actually surprised I got this camera angle. Worked out pretty well. So yeah, the electrical's like it's all temporary. It's all temporary for the season, and put the camera in there just because I'm worried about predators and stuff. And it's nice to check on them. You know, you're a bump in the night, you're thinking a raccoon's chewing its way through the door, or you know, getting through the roof of the coop. It's nice to just take a look at the camera and say, hey, okay, yeah, they're all right. They're all sleeping. Or if they start fighting, you can kind of keep an eye on them when you're not around and see who's doing what and who's trying to fight in the pecking order. So, you know, a little, I think it was like a $40 camera off Amazon that pans around and it has Wi-Fi capability. Also has a spotlight, and you can talk to the chickens or listen in on them when they're clucking away. One thing I did learn about this is I got to put a handle on the inside of the door, just in case I have to come in here and do some work. You know, I can actually close it from the inside, or a two-way latch would be good. Yeah, so the disco ball was just covered in dust. So that's what I mean with the light bulb. You know, if you have a lamp, you got to make sure you dust that lamp off, dust off the light bulb. Maybe wait till it cools a little bit first, but definitely dust it off like daily. You don't want that building up and causing a fire. And again, I'm only using this lamp for like maybe 3 to 4 days. This was a little tricky. I used kind of like a D-ring to hang it on, so that way I knew it wouldn't fall. I didn't want to use Velcro straps or anything else, or trust the clamp on it. I didn't trust the clamp on it, so I just put a D-ring around it and hung it onto the ceiling of the coop. I'm trying to angle it here towards the roofs, and it's not the easiest thing to work with, that is for sure. See, and I put the tinfoil around the cord just in case it does touch the actual shade. The shade gets hot too, and I didn't want it melting the cord and causing any issues, so I just, for a little safety precaution, put some tinfoil around that. Chickens are so much fun. Like, to be completely honest, I understand why there's so many chicken jokes out there, and you know, people make coffee mugs and all kinds of stuff because chickens have a lot of fun, and they are a lot of fun. So what am I doing here? This is actually kind of fun, you know, narrating. It's a fun day. All right, I'll be quiet. Not really. See, I think I was trying to figure out how the D-ring's going to work. See if my idea is going to actually happen. And I think this is where I figured it out. So I'm trying to work it around the clamp, and now I'm just tightening it up right now. So it's like a D-ring and a carabiner, sorry. The carabiner is a locking carabiner. That way I know it's not going to actually come undone and fall off. And I'm just fishing the cable through for safety reasons. There goes the tag off the actual cord. Now this is a bit of a lengthy video, but it's a lot of work taking care of animals. And I thought I might as well just show the whole thing. I got 7 chickens. Had 8, but one ended up being a rooster. I mentioned that in a few videos. That one was actually pretty cool, but unfortunately our bylaws don't allow us to keep roosters because they're loud. That's the reason they're loud, and they don't want them reproducing. But in all honesty, I think hens are louder than roosters. Roosters only crow like once in a while, but hens, they just squawk all the time. Especially when they're laying eggs. Oh my goodness. The other day, they're all laying at the same time, and you'd think there was a murder going on. Like, I'm surprised that the neighbors didn't come knock on the door, but they all know that I got chickens, and, you know, as a good neighbor, I give them a couple eggs every now and again. Every couple weeks, I'll drop off a dozen eggs. My peace offering, you know. Yeah, so that's all insulated now. You can see that I got the ceiling, the walls behind the roost. And then I got the lamp aiming at their roosts. Now it's Pepper just kind of being broody, which is all right. You know, like she's friendly even when she's broody. Some chickens that are broody, they'll bite you. Like they'll just peck away at your hand. But she's pretty chill. And I got the rest of them all waiting for me to get the heck out of there, and they're all cold, huddled together. That's when you know they're cold. When they're shaking, you can slightly see them shaking, but yeah, they'll huddle together outside and not move around if they're cold. So I gotta get moving. I think it took me like 20 minutes to get this done, minus messing around. So there's the camera I was talking about, messing around with all the camera stuff, trying to figure out how to. So that little device, you can get that at Canadian Tire, Walmart, Dollar Store. It's basically a sensor that you put in your coop, and then the photo from the beginning of the video is the receiver. It tells you what temperature is in your house and then what it is in the coop. See there, got that all done. Looks like a space station.